So good day everyone, this is Frost and this is Frost Moto. First, thank you God for allowing this to happen, and second, Sir Ninyo, the owner of the ADV160, and to my friend, the owner of the Sniper 155. So we are going to do a comparison between these two bikes. As you can see, to the CBR 650R, I had reviewed a few months back. I'm gonna put the link in the description for you to check it out. So before we begin, if you're on motorcycle, push the subscribe button, and if you want updates, push the notification bell. So there's no intro, let's go directly. Let's say that you are an entry-level rider and you are looking for a good, powerful, flexible, money-saving motorcycle good for daily commutes and long rides. At the same time, but you are having a hard time deciding to which you should buy. So let me help you with that to give you some clarification. Are you experienced enough to handle a 6-speed transmission, or are you boring enough to get a scooter? Relax, scooter boys, I'm not trying to argue. All I'm saying is, we agree or not, scooter is just as boring as you are in a pool but you don't know how to swim. Relax. But also, that is the selling point of this scooter. That's the logic behind it. They are more relaxed, good for long rides and going to market places. Before we get it on, just a disclaimer again, I do this every time if I don't forget. Anyway, I know there are so many better motovloggers out there that knows much more on how to tell you their insight and opinions about why you should get this or not. But anyway, why should I stop? As long as I am happy, I'll continue. But you know, it could be better if you would increase my engagement, because my engagement is very low. That's why I know that my views are low. But anyway, these two machines that you are watching right now are one of the most popular, best choice to buy as your first bike. One is the cheapest but powerful. The second is boring but premium. As for myself, but premium in and out and all of its features. I'm talking about the ADV. So much features involved means so much money is involved, but at least you are safe with the tech and features, and also the resale value is very nice. So the price of these two bikes are for a crispy of 165,000 for the ADV160. It's almost, 200,000. But anyway, an affordable and easy is the Sniper 155 price at 123,900. So that's the reason why I tell you that for me, the ADV160 is a premium bike because of its price point. But these bikes with the price point are one of them as a very good resale value. And guess what? You know what? It is the ADV. That's what makes the ADV160 nice, because after you bought it and got bored with it, the resale value is so high that even although it's that much, it will still be sold with a very good price. I don't say that because if you are going to buy your first bike, it is either you get bored with it or outgrow it, and most of you rich boys will just sell it in a click. So this is not a Honda click, but in an instant. But to us sentimental boys, we do keep the machines as much as possible for our first bike. That's the reason I still have my Honda Wave 100. It's an 18 years old bike. Never gonna sell it, but this old machine even from time to time gives me headache or ass. So let us just say that you can buy this machine easily, both of them, ADV or Sniper. So as a beginner rider, the first thing that's very important here is the seat height and the weight. So later we'll go to them, and not later, but now we'll go to the dimensions, at least to give you the inside idea if it's for you or not, or the ADV is for you or the Sniper not. Anyway, you get the point. So to be able to put your both feet on the ground, or at least one, because as a Filipino we know that some are not blessed with height. So let us go for the dimensions. So I am 5'11", and this is what it looks like if you ride the Sniper 155. So this is what it looks like if your height is just the same as mine. So seat height is 795mm, curb weight is 119 kg, and ground clearance is 115mm. So as you can see, the Sniper 155 is actually built for straight roads and aggressive riding. So let us go for the ADV. And so for the ADV160, seat height is 780mm, curb weight is 133 kg, and ground clearance is 165mm. So for its curb weight, it's a little bit heavier compared to the Sniper. It is heavier, around 14 kg. So you should consider that one if you're not lazy enough to practice or you handle the weight. Second is, it is much bulkier because of the seat. It is not narrow. So if you're very short, your legs will be, has space in it, and you're gonna have a hard time, especially in traffic. And lastly is, if you're gonna do this in the off-roading, as you can see to the ground clearance, it is very short, especially if you add the weight of the top box and the weight of an OBR. So it becomes much more closer to the ground. So it will be damaged, the fairings will be damaged because it has no metal skidding plate. So that's for the dimensions. So, in terms of seat quality or ergonomics, I'll go with the ADV160. I hate to admit it, but I can't deny the fact that it provides you with a quality relaxing ride, especially in rainy day or muddy roads. You can actually say that your attire is not gonna be ruined compared with the Sniper, especially if you're riding in a wet condition or rainy condition or muddy road. So I don't know if I'm explaining it right or delivering it right, but still, anyway, one nice thing about the Sniper is even though the seat height is high, but because the seat is narrow and the design is aesthetically sharp, it becomes more good for shorter riders. So I guess if you're a person who are not totally blessed with a good height or long legs, then might as well choose the Sniper 155, at least for better safety on your part. The reason I did this comparison, not just because these two machines are good in entry level, but as a comparison between two different identities but with almost the same engine displacement and power. So we have here is the 6-speed transmission, on the other side is the scooter. So you only have two choices in the two-wheeled market, the scooter or the automatic. Scooter or 6-speed transmission. But if you're going to include the electric bikes, that's ruin the I don't love electric bikes. If I could honestly tell you, please do not vote electric bikes. But again, so the purpose of this comparison is to choose between 6-speed and automatic. So let's go first for the engine displacement, at least to give you an idea if they are really the same. So let's go first for the ADV160. So it has a 157cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled 4-stroke, 4 valves, single overhead cam, and automatic or CVT drive. And for the Sniper 155, engine displacement is 155cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled 4-stroke, 4 valves, single overhead cam, and a 6-speed transmission. So as we can see, both of them, even though differently, has the same displacement and standing. Second is, for a beginner rider, you should know what the purpose or how should you use the bike that you would buy. What do I mean about that one? So each machine has a pros and cons, and a pros and cons are looked at differently by a person. But because I'm doing this comparison, so the pros and cons are basically my own entitlement and opinion. So let's go first for the pros. Bottom line, even if I don't want to admit it, ADV is much more better. And I have no hate between scooters. All I'm saying is, for me, 6-speed transmission are far more better. So number one pros is it is loaded with features and safety that you won't expect for an entry-level bike. So later we'll go to the features and you will decide for yourself if it's true or not. Number two, good for daily use and has a lot of space for other things that you can do. If you want to add necessary things, precisely the top box, U-box or side panners, it depends on you. And one nice thing about this one is the U-box. It is around 30 liters. If you're gonna go travel, if you don't want to have luggages or bag, you can put your things in the U-box. So that makes it hassle-free and more handy. So number three is comfortable scooter, especially if you plan on going to long rides. So that is already given for a scooter. Fourth is, for an entry level, it is already using a Showa suspension. I do applaud the Honda by that. So, and cons, too expensive and too many corrupt dealers. So I don't want to include this one, but honestly, if you're here in the Philippines, if you're gonna buy an AD, because ADV160 right now is top selling, if you're going to buy an ADV, you got know a person inside, or especially if you're gonna do cash, they won't release you the ADV if only you're gonna do it installment. So that's also for me a cons. Also for the ORCR, it takes a lot of time. So that's also the reason why people buy second-hand. Also the reason why the resale value of the ADV160 is so high also, because the moment that you buy the bike or the machine, you already have an ORCR. Regardless if you're gonna wait with the dealer, it will take around 2 months or 3 months. So number two, no proper skid plate on the bottom. I don't want to include this one because essentially the ADV is not used for or built for total or utterly off-road, but some of the people here in the Philippines, they do include it based on the comments and other things, and they actually do it on off-road. They did not know that the ADV is built for daily use and commutes, not for off-roading. The ADV is actually built because it has dual purpose tires. It is built for any weather condition like rain, dry, so on and so forth. But if you are looking for an off-road bike that can go, you have more peace in off-road without damaging your fairings or underneath your machine, then I suggest that you click the link in the description. I had reviewed the personal review of the CB150X. I'm gonna put the link in the description, and you might as well check that one. And now for the Sniper 155, pros and cons. Pros: if you're planning on upgrading to a higher CC, the Sniper 155 is a very good choice for an entry-level bike to practice. Simply, to practice your how to shift properly, so on and so forth. Number 2, it is not expensive considering the amount of power and brand that it offers. Engine power output. Number 3, it is a versatile machine to use it in your daily life. It's fun bike to ride. Long rides, daily ride, can go aggressively, riding in corners. Like I said, it's a fun bike. You will learn a lot. And after that, you can also decide if you should pursue or go with the 6-speed transmission if you think that is hassle and tiring. But anyway, cons are low resale value. Second is no safety features. Let's be honest, the more tech, the more money involved. So for this, it is up to you to decide. If you want more safety, then go choose an expensive bike. And now, one of the most important part is the daily fuel consumption. Because basically, what you are looking for is a good quality budget meal machine that can be used for so many purposes. And for that, to consider is the fuel consumption. First is the ADV160. Even though the ADV160 has more technology in it, in terms of fuel consumption, they are almost the same. There's so many factors to include because of that. Maybe later. The ADV fuel capacity is around exactly 8.1 liters. That consumes around 30 to 45 kpl, and that depends on your weight and riding style. So it still varies. Like I said, even though it has so many tech like ESP Plus and PGM FI, still consume not that good considering the tech. And my conclusion to that is the weight and the total build of the ADV. It is more, the weight is much more, and the air drag is, because it's bulky, so we can actually say that the air drag is more massive, especially if we include the rider and OBR. Second is the Sniper 155. It has a fuel capacity of 5.4 liters and it consumes around 33 to 45 km per liter. Again, it depends on your riding style and weight. So like I said, even though the ADV has many tech compared with the Sniper 155, it has better fuel mileage. And even though some of them had said that they even consume around 50, but if you're talking about 50 km per liter, it should be around, I guess it's around 30 to 40 speed. So maybe. So the greater factor of that is the belt of the Sniper. It is lighter and better aerodynamics, so less air drag. But again, both machines are built with a different purpose. So anyway, let's go with the power output. Both are almost the same. With the power output, ADV has bore and stroke of 60 by 55.5 mm that produced a max power of 11.7 kW at 8,500 RPM. That gives you a max torque of 14.7 Newton meter at 6,500 RPM. I wanted to include the compression ratio, but maybe later. So the Sniper 155 has a bore and stroke of 58 by 58.7 mm that produces a max power of 13.2 kW at 9,500 RPM. That gives you a max torque of 14.4 Newton meter at 8,000 RPM. So again, if you look at the states of both bikes are identical, but why is that they are not the same in terms of actual power? So what do you mean actual power? Actual power, it means that you are riding the bike properly on the road. Again, it is because of weight. It's because of weight and aerodynamics, and the purpose because ADV is built primarily for daily commutes, but built with an extra flavor that can go into mild off-roading or some unconditioned road. That is why the reason that it has a Showa suspension. And it's actually very nice if you do actually test drive an ADV and actually feel the premiumness, the stableness, and the safety. If you compare it with the Sniper 155, it is pretty much open. So anyway, while the Sniper is more on speed, sharp, and agility, but lacks the stability in terms of uneven and conditioned road, especially in wet roads. So as we all know, the Sniper 155 is not built for that. It is built on speed and good quality road condition. So you gotta consider that one. If your place, if you're living in a road or in an area that is more on the province, and now for the compression ratio. So basically, the higher the compression is the better. I have explained that earlier. I explained that in my last review with the NMAX that I upgraded. The owner upgraded into a 215cc, and the cost is 324,000. Because if the compression ratio is higher, it gives you more power and more torque and better fuel mileage. For the compression ratio of the ADV, it is 12.1, and for the Sniper it is exactly around 10.5:1. So with that, the ADV has better compression, but don't worry because the compression ratio is perfectly balanced for their specific engine. So like I said, the higher the compression ratio is better, but still you gotta consider is the compression ratio balanced with their displacement or in their bore and stroke or the volume or engine. So anyway, now with the tires. For the Sniper, we only have a standard set of tires that good for daily use, good mileage. But if you're planning to do an aggressive riding, I do recommend that you change it with a better set of quality tires for your safety because you only have a standard set of suspension. Also, the tires is not that expensive, but anyway, it is pretty much a good offer. So I'm gonna review these two bikes. Just gonna add on these two bikes individually. So I'm gonna explain they're much better, the detail to detail. So for the ADV, it has a dual purpose of set of tires, good for any road condition, including even if it's raining or wet roads. And also, it has a traction control. That makes the ADV more appealing to the people, and followed by a good suspension that it makes more in terms of safety and relaxing ride. But don't think that it's not fast enough. So this is a good offer. And on the static side, because some of the rider consider specs or things that they will all want static. So it depends. So both are actually good in their specific design, but in my opinion, I do love the sharpness and nimbleness of the Sniper. But on the other hand, I do consider the design to be more safety because of the stableness and spacious as a good windscreen for extra protection on the rider. And now for the features, first on the list is the ADV because it is loaded. Number one is ABS, but front only. ABS function is to provide safety braking for the rider and motorcycle and for the people around you. And you do sudden brake, so it is pretty much basic. Second in our list is the HSTC, or meaning Honda Selectable Torque Control. In other words, traction control provide you with the safety of not losing control of your rear tires, and the traction helps you redirecting your rear tire to the front, so especially if you're riding in wet condition or muddy roads. So third on our list is the idling stop. So if this is actually good if you are riding in a traffic surrounded places because it reduces fuel consumption and gives you better fuel mileage. Fourth on our list is, like I said, the ESP Plus, and also the reason why the ADV has 4 valves. ESP Plus provide you with more refined and powerful engine and better combustion. Fifth on our list is the keyless system for better thief control, and you can leave it anywhere, especially in a parking lot. You can still find a motorcycle because it has an alarm. So sixth is, I don't want to include this one, but based on my reviews and research, the ADV Showa suspension is actually, for me, is a feature because some people would give extra money to be able to get a better suspension. And it is just not the rear, but the front utterly perfect. Just perfect. So I guess the features of the ADV, you can also say that it is more expensive, but the money to value or money to features, it is worth it, and the resale value is still very high. And for the Sniper 155, even though it does not have an ABS, Yamaha has provided with an assist slipper clutch, which is nice because if you really know how to handle a motorcycle, you can do clutchless shifting. And second is the famous BVA of Yamaha. So BVA function as an extra boost of power and around 7,000 RPM. Even the Sniper lacked the features compared with the ADV, it is still nice because of the money for value. And most Sniper users actually change everything in the unit. So especially, Sniper is built for aggressive riding and fun commuter bike. So this is what I'm gonna tell you. Both are easy to maintain, but I'll go with the Sniper because it is very easy. You can do it yourself. Compared with the ADV, it is more expensive a little bit, and you can do a maintenance by yourself because you need to clean the CVT from mileage to mileage, which is more hassle, and mostly consumers have no time for that. Compared with the Sniper, you can actually clean the chains easily by yourself, or you could not. You just want to change it. You're a cheap person. Regarding the fuel consumption, I'll go with the Sniper, perhaps because the ADV is much more heavier and spacious compared with the Sniper that is more nimble and light. And for the comfortability, I'll go with the ADV160. We can't deny the fact, in terms of relaxation and riding capabilities, the ADV is the winner. For the aesthetic, again, the aggressiveness is different ways, so it's up to you. And finally, money for value, the ADV is priced at 165,000, and the standard price of the Sniper is 123,900. So you gotta ask yourself which is more worth it. If you ask me, I'll go with the Sniper 155 because it is a fun bike to ride with a good quality of power, nimbleness, aggressiveness, and most especially money for value. is not way too expensive, good for, you know, budgeting person. But if you have enough money to be able to buy at least two differently, it's up to you. I'll buy the ADV as my daily commuter adventure bike with a very good relaxing ride with an OBR, stress-free ride, especially if you're planning to go places which is road conditions not fairly good. After everything in this, up to you to which motorcycle you would choose. So let me know in the comments if you ever finish this video, which motorcycle or which machine would you choose for your entry level, at least to make other people know. So again, that's it. If you love motorcycle, push subscribe button. If you're on updates, push the notification bell. So ride safe always.